up, all of my horror fanatics out there? Welcome back to Late Night Frights. I'm the Late Night Frights horror leader, the J. Sloan or Jordan, back here to do another video for you. And as always, guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in this evening. Last week we did horror battles, so obviously this week we're doing a theme. And the theme we chose to do this week is one that we have never talked about here on Late Night Frights. It's a subject that we have discussed very little within the channel, and each of us are going to be talking about our favorite horror TV shows. So, horror TV shows are great. I mean, obviously, we all love horror. There's not too many good horror TV shows that you should really stick with. And I've got a couple here that I'm going to be talking about. The first few I'm just going to do is like honorable mentions, some of these shows that I really do like. And most of these shows, actually the three that I have to talk about, are not full-blown horror shows. I mean, they have mixed elements of comedy, drama, suspense and thriller, and all of this stuff mixed into one bag, but they do have mainly horror elements. So one I want to talk about very briefly here before we get to my favorite horror TV show. This is like my second favorite, and it is Dexter. This is the 5th season box set, or the 5th season DVD set. I do own the complete series of Dexter in the Blood Slide box. But just to show you this, and I absolutely love this show. It's one that I've watched for about 3 or 4 years now, and just absolutely fell in love with it upon first view. And very, very interesting storyline. I mean, Dexter Morgan is a serial killer, but a good, serial killer who will only eliminate evil people, other serial killers, rapists, thieves, and different things like that. He has a code he lives by, but he also has a hunger for murder in his heart. And it's just really cool to see his backstory and see what he goes through and see his family members and see how he actually reacts to different people and just, how cold and empty he actually is. And it's so interesting, and it sets him aside from all the other serial killers because he does have a code to live by. He will not kill an innocent. And the series itself is just amazing. The first 4 seasons were really good. I do feel that it kind of went down in quality after that. I love the whole series in itself. The finale I was a little bit disappointed with, to be completely honest with you, but overall I love the series. And it's been a while since I've seen it from start to finish, and actually pretty soon, within a day or so, I am going to restart the series. And if you want to check out my reviews for this series itself, go over to my channel, the J. Sloan, and I will have some individual episode reviews up as soon as I start rewatching the series. So definitely check out Dexter if you haven't already. More of a drama / horror. There's a lot of blood, a lot of gore, a lot of sick elements to this, and it's basically about Dexter Morgan, the serial killer. So, really awesome show. This next one I want to talk about very briefly is one that I kind of fell out of. I love the first couple seasons, and it is True Blood, which is not a full-on horror, but it does have horror aspects to it. Basically about vampires. It follows Sookie Stackhouse, Bill, and it follows, just all these people in this town, and vampires in this show have become known. Everybody knows about vampires now. They sell blood in gas stations, and it's a really cool show. I don't know why I fell out of the show. I mean, I watched the first season, the second season, and I did watch the third season, but it's been so long that I don't remember too much. I think we're on the 7th season now, which is really cool. I'm going to have to pick it back up and get back into the show. But True Blood is very good. Very cool concept about vampires. There's another show, The Vampire Diaries, which I've never seen. But I really did enjoy this show. So I would definitely recommend True Blood as well if you haven't checked it out. Very interesting. Both of these shows, Dexter and True Blood, check them out. They're awesome. Another show that I do not own, Bates Motel. Really love that one as well. More of a thriller than a horror, I guess you could say, but it does have horror elements. Tales from the Crypt, classic. There's so many good ones out there that it's really hard to pinpoint, but this is my favorite horror TV show. Once again, not a full-blown horror, but it's got, mainly a drama, but it does have horror aspects in it, and some of you may have already guessed it, and that is The Walking Dead. Now, I am a huge, mega fan of The Walking Dead. I absolutely love this TV show. It's not only my favorite horror show of all time, it's my favorite TV show in general of all time. I have seen the series now in a whole at least 5 times in a row, or 5 times since it's been released. They just ended the 4th season on March 30th, I believe. And we were waiting for season 5. We were waiting for season 5 to air in October, Cannot wait. It's just a magnificent show. It's so clever, and the development in the show is the best character development that I've ever seen in any television show, hands down. It just to see where these characters go from point A to point B and all the troubles and trials that they go through, it's just so beautifully rounded. It's just an amazing show, and it follows Rick Grimes. Now, I do have a little bit of time to talk about this one. I kind of breezed through True Blood, and Dexter, but I'm going to talk about The Walking Dead a little bit. It follows a character named Rick Grimes, and actually the show is based off of a comic book series by Robert Kirkman, or a graphic novel series by Robert Kirkman, and it follows Rick Grimes. He wakes up from a coma to a zombie-filled world, and he tries to find his wife and son, and that's the basis for the first season. And spoiler alert, I guess you could say, if you haven't already seen the first season, once that happens, it's basically just about trying to survive. And that's what a lot of people dislike that, you know, there's no real motive, no real goal other than survival. There is no cure. They just keep pushing forward and forward, but the development is just so amazing. I mean, and the characters we have in this are just so believable. The acting is magnificent. I mean, it's just some of the best acting I've ever seen from all the characters around. And I'm not just talking about the first season. I'm talking about the second season, the third season, and then the fourth season. And, yeah, I absolutely love the show. If you guys can tell, I have a deep, deep love for this show. And I have since it was aired in October of 2010. So, The Walking Dead's awesome. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do so. If you are a fan, you know, I've told many people this. A lot of people I talk to say, I'm not big on zombies. I don't like zombies. So, you know, if you're not a fan of zombies, watch The Walking Dead. It doesn't matter. The zombies is a background. It's a background noise to the real plot, the true nature and the true plot of the show, which is the survivors. And that's what I've always felt, you know, the older films such as Dawn of the Dead, which is my favorite horror, not my favorite horror film, but my favorite zombie film of all time, 1978, Dawn of the Dead, you know, Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead's a classic. The thing that I thought that they failed on the most in those movies, and all those movies are just awesome, awesome films, don't get me wrong, but they focus too little on the characters and too much on the zombies themselves, which zombies are kind of bland, and, you know, not much you can do with zombies. You can't really focus on them for an entire show, but with the characters, this follows the characters, and it follows everything that they have to go through, and the brutality that they must do to survive in The Walking Dead, and I absolutely love it. I love the comic books as well. I'm not exactly caught up to the comics. There's some new issues out, but I've read the Compendium 1, the Compendium 2. I've read a lot of the comics. I absolutely love those. I love both video games. I'm actually with Chris Brock and Jeremy Burchett in a Walking Dead fan series. So I absolutely love The Walking Dead. My favorite TV show of all time. And if you haven't seen it, guys, please, please check it out. So, there you go, guys. There's my review over my favorite horror TV show of all time. I had to add a few more in here just to make it interesting. I think a couple other people will be doing that this week. I think Chris Brock might be adding a few shows. I definitely know some people will be talking about The Walking Dead. But there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I'm going to leave a link to the Facebook and the website in the description below. Be sure to like our Facebook and check out our website. We would really appreciate it. Stay tuned this week, guys. Tomorrow, All Random Things will be talking about a horror TV show of his choice. So, thanks for watching, guys. You just watched Late Night Frights. I'm the Jay Sloan. Comment, subscribe, and as always, guys, keep it horror. Peace.